I'm going to kind of jump right into it, and then we're going to fast track towards the microloan. I think that's the focus of today for me. FSA is part of Department of Ag. We have a variety of farm loan programs. These are just a quick thumbnail of the different types. We have farm ownership, direct down payment. We can finance annual operating. We have emergency funding. We also do guarantees, which is partnering with private sector banks. Again, as I said, Jen is a CSA. This program was really created with this in mind. Smaller scale operations that have smaller credit needs. And it has the additional flex of providing credit to those who don't have a demonstrated set of years of farm experience. You don't have 5 years, 3 years of experience, but you're interested in farming, you've apprenticed somewhere, you have a bit of an education, you've taken Annie's project, and we think that you have the right foundation for producing within a means. So that's how the microloan was born. Again, this kind of reiterates what I'm getting to, that if you have limited experience, we can give you the opportunity. You have to have some experience, but microloans are really designed for the beginning farmer, and even a youth loan, which is similar to our microloans, which targets students in the FFA or part of the 4-H in high school. This is a step up, and the ultimate goal is to have you get credit through the conventional credit. It's easier said than done, but as Jen has demonstrated, it is possible, and you can be very successful on the small scale. The maximum loan amount is $35,000. That's the congressional, that's the level. They said 35 is your max. So what that means is at any point when you have a microloan, you can't have a principal balance beyond $35,000. That would put you into a category where you would apply with a traditional loan application. They can be used for any type of expense. Jen had a fantastic presentation, and she went into what she spends her money on, and she had it was systematically broken down into categories: beginning of the season, middle, end of the season, and where the income is coming at these different points in time. Well, you know, at the beginning we have the startup expenses, and then you have seed fertilizer, utilities, all the stuff I think that was in column 1, right? You're making your farm plan, you're figuring out what acreage, what crops, how much is it going to cost to buy the inputs. Well, we can use a microloan as a vehicle to get you that type of credit. Then, you know, marketing, if you have administrative internet costs for a server, any type of cost if you're sending a news release out, or you know, you're hanging stuff and you're printing materials to pass out and distribute your business cards. These type of costs are perfectly legitimate and can be funded with the microloan. Living expenses, family living expenses is also another one. If you have to pay rent, that can be included in the microloan. We're not trying to pay people's rents. We are still focused on agriculture, so please don't muddle that up too much. You can buy equipment. We can do term financing. So it doesn't have to be an annual expense like seed or fertilizer. It can be a tractor. It can be a planter. If you need irrigation equipment, if you need a pump, a filter, these are viable. They can all be bundled into the microloan, and we can work with you to determine what is an annual expense, what is a term expense. The term will be spread out over 5, 7 years at most. This way you have a little more breathing room with the repayment. Farm improvements are legitimate. Hoop houses, high tunnels that National Resource and Conservation Service has worked on with cost shares. We can finance that. That's absolutely fine. We can finance deer fence. We can help you improve your farming area where you're renting, or you know, what you own to meet your needs. Tools, minor tools or implements that you may or may not need. I mentioned irrigation delivery vehicles. I recently received a call about a farmer who grows mushrooms, and they're expanding rapidly, and they're targeting restaurants, but they're getting calls from restaurants that are not necessarily in the area, and they have so much of a demand that they need a bigger refrigerated vehicle to bring the mushrooms to the restaurant. Well, they could, in theory, finance a small refrigerated truck with the microloan, which would be a great use of this as a credit vehicle. Eligibility, as I mentioned, is semi-relaxed. That's not to say anyone can get the loan, but it means if you have demonstrated managerial ability, if you're unable to get credit elsewhere, but you do have a plan, you have some experience, and we think that it makes sense through our discussion in the application, then it's something that we'll be happy to work with you on. This it pulls up 4-H and FFA, which can be a little confusing. These are programs that you can be involved with when you're in high school to a degree. And that kind of sets a precedent for your experience, and we can include that into the microloan experience. Any kind of training like Annie's Project is perfect. We've worked with multiple Annie's Project alum. We find Annie's Project to be structured, straightforward, and we think that it provides a relatively broad basis and foundation from which you can grow. You're going to learn a lot of skills and tools and network here, and you'll be able to apply this in the future with your own farm operations. We credit that experience. We don't discount that. Securing a loan, always a question. If I don't have real estate, can the loan be made? The answer is yes. We can secure it with just the crop. We can secure it with the equipment we would finance. If we bought you a tractor and some irrigation piping, we would secure that item one-to-one. We can use the crop proceeds, the income you're going to generate from the crops that you do raise, or if it's livestock, or if it's milk, whatever it is, poultry and eggs. I mean, anything you produce, we can use that as security. So it doesn't have to be real estate if you don't own real estate. So don't be intimidated by the need for farm property. You can apply for a loan by submitting an application. You can go onto the website. You can contact me. There are 3 offices in New Jersey. One is in Hackettstown. Megan Everswick works there. I am based in Columbus, New Jersey. And there is a 3rd office in Vineland. Robert Maxwell and Ellen Schmidt, they both work in Vineland. I'm the only one in Columbus. You can contact any of these 3 offices, and we can help you, walk through the process with you, so you're not, you're not feeling your way in the dark, so to speak. In summary, this is the microloan up to $35,000. It's a 7-page application. It's pretty straightforward. It's very simple. There will be questions. You can ask them. We are here to assist you. We are public servants. And we can fit your credit needs if you're unable to get it through a conventional lender.